Hey, welcome back to Cards and Comics, and I've got a mail day for you. So I've opened up the comics and a few of the cards, as I had some boxes of mixed cards and comics, which is awesome. And I'm going to do the comics last because I know they're not as popular on my channel as the cards, but it is full of some Golden Age fun. And if you're interested in some Golden Age, it'll be at the end. So we'll start with the cards. And starting up here is a Ted Simmons Hall of Fame rookie card, SGC 86. And it's pretty nice. Centering's nice. And it's a potential crossover to PSA. And so we'll see. One of these days, if I ever grade cards ever again with PSA, that'll go through. Here is a very nice, flawless Rod Woodson All-Pro auto. I'm a sucker for all these flawless cards, and every year I usually would open either one case or two cases of flawless. That was always, my fun, don't care if I lose money type rip, and I doubt I do it this year because prices have gone nuclear on that kind of product. And here is a Euchre 65 tops PSA 8. And I just love that card. I think it's his nicest looking card. And very popular player. I never have a problem selling Bob Euchre cards when I go to card shows and such. And then another thing I've got here is a 97 metal universe, box, and I'm very excited to have this. And yeah, let me pull the camera back a little bit. There you go. You can see a little bit more of a wide pan shot here. And yeah, I'm really excited to open this. I'm definitely going to have a video open this box. Now, if I don't open this box on camera, it'll be because of one thing. So when I open this box, first pack and everything's stuck together, I probably won't show a video like I did in the 99 set or 98 set I did, where everything was stuck together. I did get a PMG in that box. Remember, it was a Jim Edmonds. However, I don't want to just go through and waste everyone's time with cards all stuck together. So there you go, 97 Metal Universe box. That's going to be hopefully opened successfully. All right, so first package here, my trusty knife from Blowout Cards, who I do breaks with. So I only do breaks with two companies. It's Blowout Cards and Indy Sports Cards out of Indianapolis, where I was from originally, before I moved to the Northeast, to the Albany area. All right, first card here. Make sure there's no address information showing. Very nice. First card is a 77 George Brett PSAA. I don't have in my collection. I'm missing a lot of late 70s cards. I just never really went and got them back in the day. And this is one of the nicer ones. I really like this card. I've always thought aesthetically it was very, very well designed. And it's an early third-year Brett. And I do have the Brett 76 and an 8. And I'll do a 70s video and I'll show you kind of that card eventually. All right, so it starts off really nice. I posted a video on my first card show experience in a while. I got some interesting feedback and some folks, that contacted me really about this idea that, hey, we're entering sort of a new changing of the guard, so to speak, and a PSA 10 not protected Griffey from 1998 finest, so cool. I have this card raw, so it's cool to have it in a PSA 10, and pretty cheap card. It's the non-protected, so you get the kind of the cool back. So you kind of chrome front and back. Just to kind of go further into that thought a little bit. I do think we're seeing a much different environment for, these, for the collectors and these dealers, and dealers showing up with their charts and everything. Really trying to understand what the pricing and how to price cards. Just a lot different than when I was setting up, and I think it's going to be a good thing to have people really interested in value and trying to really maybe be in front of the value of cards instead of kind of just following eBay trends. But we'll see. But it's interesting to me that we've got so many people interested in metrics. I'll give you another thought here, but this is a 59 Brooks Robinson SGC8, and again, I picked it up. I think it's nice for the grade, a little off left to right. In all, it'll still be a card I would kind of review, potential pop out and send to PSA. I have a spreadsheet one of these days I'll show my success sending to PSA from SGC. Let's just say I average about 2 grades lower, but for as bad as that sounds, losing 2 grades on average from PSA or SGC to PSA, all my crossovers that did go higher made up for it in money to the high extreme. So I actually made a lot of money crossing over, even though I lost grades. And I'll show you kind of how that works. But generally, I got lucky, and the cards that were graded higher were the higher value cards, and the cards that ended up grading, the 2 grades lower in general were cheaper cards. So I got lucky, if you want to look at it that way. So yeah. Okay, here's the falls into the camp of I Love 62 Tops, the Walt Alston. Just a cool manager card from, a really popular team. And again, I love all 62 tops. 62 and 71 tops are kind of I just want every card. And, if I got the whole set graded one of these days, I would be happy. So there you go. The other thing that was really interesting to me is how, which I can't throw stones here, but, everyone I met at the show kind of had their own YouTube channel, was doing breaks, and and everyone was kind of not only a dealer now, but everyone also is has a channel and is making content. So I think that's interesting as well. There was people selling their grading skills for a fee. So everyone's trying to capitalize on this market in some way, and I think it's very interesting to see that. Which when I first started, thought, hey, let's make a channel. There was only a few channels I was following, and man, there's a ton of us out there now, and we're not very unique. That's for sure. So yeah, if you want to, follow folks and have some fun, I'm definitely not a serious YouTuber, as you can tell by my followers, the total number. Not you guys, but just I'm definitely not one of the serious channels out there in terms of like eyeballs. I'm just out here having some fun. 69 Pete Rose 8.5, and oh man, look at this! I finally got an 8.5 and something other than a modern card. This is sort of what I used to collect, and when I show you my 70s collection, you'll see a lot of 8.5s in that collection. Thank God I got something cool, and I don't have a lot of Pete Rose cards, and so this is cool to get. Maybe not an expensive Pete Rose card comparatively, but in a grade I really, really like. Okay, so here's a package. I don't know what the heck this is, so it's very large, and so it's not a single card for sure. Aha, it's a box, and I hate it when people send boxes in these kind of packages because they get kind of beat up. He did sandwich it between some cardboard, so we'll see how we did. This is what this is. All right. It confused me for a second because it was like, why is this in 2 pieces? To the box, disintegrate on shipment. No, it's Magic cards. Oh my gosh. Magic cards are in the house. And I opened one pack of this already on my TikTok channel for folks who look at TikTok. I do open a lot of just single packs on TikTok. It is two collector boosters of Strixhaven. And there you go. There's one, and there is two, and they'll just go into the pile of some unopened boxes of Magic I have. Set looks cool. It's very pretty. It's got some really neat Japanese cards, and I mean, I'm just, I just think it's kind of a cool looking thing. I mean, I don't do a lot of Magic cards compared to other channels and other people. I'm no Rudy. Even though I've had conversations with Rudy and I really like the dude. I have a big history into Magic in the sense that, in college I played competitive Magic. I went to school with the Team Dead guys, Chris Picula, Dave Price, those guys. Played them every week in Magic. Beat a lot of them, not trying to brag. It's just, you play them enough, you beat them sometimes. And, beat them in some tournaments. It's just... I had fun doing it. I never thought it'd be a serious thing, and they kept doing it, and I actually went and got a job. So, I never thought it would be a serious thing. And those guys, to their credit, kept playing and turned it into somewhat of a career. I know they all have other gigs besides. And I've talked to them, after college and a few times, and just I haven't kept up with them 100%, but, I congratulated them. I saw Chris on TV doing an ESPN, when they were actually broadcasting Magic on ESPN for like a hot minute back in the day. All right, so the next card is I really love this card, and I'm glad I got it, and I'm going to pick up hopefully some more of these cards. It's going to put it right in my greats of all time auto collection. 73, teams, Willie Mays. Legends auto, and that's a really good on-card auto. Willie Mays, for whatever reason, has some of the worst on-card autos in terms of bubbling and missing pieces, so I don't know what's going on with those, but this one is really cool, and super glad to get my first Willie Mays auto, if you can believe it. Never had one before. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to get him before, and his auto is going up. There is, unfortunately, probably not a lot more of his autos coming out. Probably. I hate to speculate on things like that. But next up is a 76 Tony Perez PSAA. And I like Tony Perez cards. I get them whenever I get a chance because they're so cheap for a Hall of Famer. He was really good. I think people just, I tell you what, I made some people really mad when I said Hall of Famers have tiers. I said, well, so-and-so isn't a top-tier Hall of Famer. And it was just like, oh, my God, I can't believe you said Ernie Banks isn't a top-tier Hall of Famer. I meant by value. I meant, like, if you look at value, you got Mickey Mantle out there kind of on an island, and then everyone else, between Clemente, Mays, Aaron, Koufax are kind of the next tier. Sometimes Stan Musial's in there if he's in the set. But, I mean, there is a tiering and pricing. And so, I don't mean to, disrespect your favorite Hall of Famer, but let's be honest. I mean, Tony Perez does not fall on that spectrum of Willie Mays and Hank Aaron, and he certainly is nowhere close to Mantle. So that's what I mean by that, and so I don't mean to disrespect their abilities. It's just pricing-wise, Tony Perez doesn't fall anywhere close. And then, last but not least, 58 tops, Herb Score. I just like 58 tops. So sometimes I buy cards because I like them. All right. So next up, I'll move in the back here. So I'll get the cards kind of out of the way a little bit. And we'll go right into the next phase. And we'll start with comics, or, end with comics, I guess. Sorry. So these are the comics I got. And most are old, like me. And, all right, so we'll start with the coolest one first, might as well. And we'll see if I can get it to kind of show here a little bit. There we go. So, I'm going to pull it back a little bit even further, and so we can hopefully get a good view of the full book here. And yeah, there we go. And so what I want to show here is this is a 1953, so it's tail end of Golden Age spook. So it's a horror cover, horror book, and the cover is by L.B. Cole, who is one of the most known or revered comic artists of this time period of the Golden Age. So I collect Schomburg, and if you've been on the channel a little bit, you may have seen that. I'm a big Schomburg collector, and my second favorite is Cole. And as Schomburg is becoming harder and harder for me to get, I will collect Cole when I get a chance. This is one of the coolest Cole covers, in my opinion. And the cool thing about this book, and something to look out for when you see this on a cover or hear of it, and this says used in SOTI, S-O-T-I. And so what that means is that it was in the Seduction of the Innocents book. Either it was pictured or it was in the bibliography in the back as basically being an example of a book that has content that is considered to be too raunchy or gruesome to be good for children. And so there's a lot of people who collect books who were just in Seduction of the Innocents. And so if it's just in the bibliography, the books are okay. If they're featured and written about in the book, then they're worth more. And so this is a book that's in SOTI. So that's book one. All right. Moving on to book two, and here's the theme. Another L.B. Cole book. And again, this is what I consider to be a very affordable, not only for the grade, the 3.0, but it is, not a traditional horror or really anything that most people, besides war maybe. This is a 1945 book, and the reason why I got this is twofold. One is it's L.B. Cole, but I collect Native American comics. I'm partial Native American. My grandmother is a full-blood Cherokee, and so I collect Golden Age Native American covers. And this one's just really cool. It's Native American pilots. You can see this guy's got his parachute on. And I just think that is a cool cover. It's a content you don't see much in these wartime books, and I just really, really like it, and I really dig it because you can see the L.B. Cole. It's just content you don't normally see in Golden Age books. Next up is a modern book, and so I love it when people talk about what they collect and what you shouldn't collect. Here is a modern variant. So I'm a modern variant collector. I collect variants. Sue me. I just think this is a cool one. Scarlet Witch. I like these kind of these I don't know what you call them, like just monocolor type covers. I'm a sucker for them. This one is David Nekayama cover. And again, I don't have any strategy buying these covers. I just like the cover. It's going to the collection, and that's all there is to it. There's nothing. There's no analysis. I didn't do a spreadsheet. I didn't do any sort of mathematical calculation on the future potential value and the estimated earnings over the next 10 years for this comic book. I just bought it because I thought it looked cool. There you go. All right. Last but not least, again, if I'm going to show comic books, you're probably going to see an Alex Schomburg book. And here you go. Here is an Alex Schomburg book from 1946, Startling Comics, number 40. I'll do it this way so you can see the full cover. Yeah, it is a nice book. So some common themes on books like this from the 40s. So there's different types of villains in these books. So in this case, you got these hooded, robed figures, which could either be Nazis, Ku Klux Klan, maybe in some cases, or just hooded figure. So this is a very common theme. Is just a hooded figure. You've got the human sacrifice here, the female doing it that's very attractive, and so this is like just a common theme to a lot of these covers. And the thing to think with Schomburg is that he got tired in these covers, and so later on he went to like an airbrushed style that's more photorealistic. And so if you're a Schomburg lover, there's usually two camps. You got the kind of the wacky everything, just everyone doing something, and knives are being thrown. It's just a lot of action in this classic I say cartoon style, but superhero style, and then or his airbrush, and I like both, and so I collect both. So I don't make a distinction, but I do know there's people out there who either like one style or the other. So that's it. That's all I got today. It's my box opening and card opening mail day. Hope you like it. I got some really cool stuff. I think my comics I got are really cool. A lot of cool Golden Age books. I got my first Willie Mays auto. I got some cool vintage. I got another 8.5 for the collection. So all in all, a very fun day. I do have some really cool cards coming in pretty soon. Probably the most expensive card I've bought in a long time, and it's modern. So that's a new thing for me, but you'll see why when it comes in and why it's so expensive. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.